Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here again at Near Protocol. This was a request from one of our community members here. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Was it Bouquet? Yes, Bouquet. Thank you very much for the request. Absolutely appreciate that. Just quick congrats to our community members here. We took some profits on Near Protocol. What, MNT, ICP? There it is, 90. All profit targets achieved. 70% in 4 days there from our Near Protocol trade over the weekend. So this coin, it's firing on all cylinders. It did not pull back to fill its fair value gap, which is, I wouldn't say unfortunate, because I was considering a second entry at a lower price point. But more importantly, that's still present. So we got to just kind of be mindful of that. Now, this cup and handle pattern didn't exactly play out. They never truly always do, but in a sense, it kind of did too already, right? Because it retested that level, consolidated before the next leg up. It just happened a lot faster because the market is moving so quick right now. Okay, so again, a lot of coins just firing fast and moving quickly. So just be prepared for some pretty fast movements. I don't think we're going to see strong amount of pullback. Altcoins seem to be very, very strong right now, considering Bitcoin dominance just kind of going sideways for the last 48 hours. And most altcoins are going up. And Bitcoin price isn't really dramatically increasing. It's just kind of staying in its range, broke free from its bullish rectangle. Okay, so let's take a look at some liquidation data before I continue to spin out of control with some random information. I have a tendency of doing that. Got to keep on track. What we're going to look at here is Near Protocol's liquidation levels and just kind of see if there's any incentive for the price to go higher or lower. People always ask, hey, what does liquidation do? How is it, relevant or important? It just kind of helps us understand where people are averaging their positions at. In other words, these are a lot of stop losses and or liquidation events that could occur, okay? So knowing that, understanding that helps us know that, hey, the price could go all the way up to about 660 before it pulls back, because manipulation is a very real thing. Market movers, market makers, whatever you want to call them, they see liquidation events just as we do, and they have the money to be able to push the price to that level to destroy any opposition, okay? So while these are stronger, in some cases, resistance ranges, they're also more incentivized to push the price in that direction. So I don't know how else to describe it. It's just kind of one of those funny things. Anyways, let's take a look here at the charts and kind of work our way down. I will need to draw out some new fib levels here. I'll go ahead and do that now, but generally speaking, I like to wait for the daily candlestick to close first beforehand, but it seems fairly likely that we may not surpass 585 today, 587 today. So just kind of a heads up on that. It is generally best to wait until a candlestick closes before you consider adjusting your fib levels. And I prefer macro fibs more so than, every 15 minutes just constantly adjusting it. Again, day trading is a different story altogether. If that's your thing, all good, no disrespect. But from a swing trader's perspective, we want to make sure that we understand that macro is just generally better, okay? So I'm going to draw this trend line out here as well, give us some perspective. That's the local high, essentially, with the daily candlestick closures. We got actually three attempts to break there. Fourth attempt did break, and we saw a retest of that level on the fifth day, okay? So that's essentially where we're at. Let's quickly look at the RSI. We are breaking free from 70 on the RSI. Could imply we have broken resistance and continuing higher. Money flow index is right there with it, generally favorable, so that's mostly positive. I wouldn't say this is monumental by any stretch, because we obviously had some difficulty here with the 200 SMA holding the price action in place. It's usually going to reject out the price the first time you test it. Okay, so keep in mind, that's the tentative rejection or resistance for us at 587. For now, if the price doesn't end up pulling back, it would make sense for it to consolidate here at this 0.382 fib level around 5/505. So again, standard procedure, the price doesn't end up pulling back, is to consider a long at this level, a heavy support. However, we also got to recognize if we get close to that range there is that significant fair value gap that could essentially get filled. So you maybe want to average in, 50% here or 25, 25, 25. I like to average in or out of my positions personally, but again, I don't like to miss opportunities as much. So getting some skin in the game can be like kind of a nice little feature sometimes. Anyways, daily time frame looks good. Let's just check that off the list. 4-hour time frame. We quickly recognize here that we're getting close to 70. We are hitting 70 now. This is generally construed as a take profit target, at least for me. Whenever I see the RSI up over 70, I leave it be. I don't take any profit. Once it crosses that threshold, I then secure profits and consider either averaging into the way down or possibly even letting the rest ride. But I generally don't close my entire position, but just know that that is a possibility here of considering a closure. Now we can see MACD is trying to diverge, but hasn't fully yet. It's still gaining momentum. And money flow index is right there roughly with the RSI. So generally speaking, this is not like an unfavorable situation. It's mostly positive because we can see this awesome scenario here where the price is moving above all moving averages. So really, this is mostly bullish. The only thing I'm mentioning is with the RSI crossing back under 70, that can be construed, at least to me, as a good sell signal or a take profit signal. Keep in mind, a lot of this hinges on the market too, but if we look at this and we compare this coin with Bitcoin, it broke out with Bitcoin and is pulling back with Bitcoin for the moment, but what's important is to recognize kind of the correlation between coins. And right now they're moving together, but a lot of coins are doing that right now, so it's nothing abnormal. The key takeaway here is that everything is pointing up and there's no reason to consider really closing your position. Even though I mentioned on the 4-hour time frame we have that cross over the 70, it still hasn't technically broken free from it yet. So you maybe want to consider holding on for a little bit longer. But the key I would say here is that we got a good 12 hours before the lagging span intersects with the price action. So the truth is, if today's daily candlestick closes for Bitcoin at 65K or higher, I think there's a distinct probability coins like this are going to continue to run. So again, this coin is doing very well, very strong. If it does pull back, you may want to consider a buy-in at the local high, which is the new low, potentially at 540. So to recap here, to make it simple, I think 540 and 505 are two key areas to consider along with. Okay. Again, invalidation of the long would be a closure below this 0.5 fib level. That's generally an invalidation level, and mainly because the likelihood of us filling that fair value gap if it were to enter that range is pretty high, and that would be a strong area of rejection. So again, we combine all that and we look at our macro point of control. If you exclude this $4 mark, which is pretty obvious, we've got a pretty solid amount at 520. So literally 505, 520, and 535 are three areas of solid consideration. I'll highlight that on our playout chart here with our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you're not familiar, it looks a little something like this, where I kind of provide you with insight on coins that I'm planning to take trades with. For example, we took a long with this triangle breakout for not earlier today. A good handful of different things to kind of pay attention to. So anyways, it's all there. I'll clean up the charts and post an update there for this coin here shortly. But I do want to say thank you so much again to everybody who's been liking every video, commenting below, or just in general, just being amazing parts of my life. Like, minus all the scammers that you might see in the comments below, we got some really cool people here in our community. So jumping over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Discord, I would say, is probably the best one because there's tons of communication here that we're all kind of working together as a common goal to essentially get where we need to go. So it's pretty awesome stuff. I appreciate being part of that. So thank you. All right. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.